Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to TritonTv. Okay, this video is going to be pretty long, so I'm going to make this as short as possible. So I'm rebuilding my PC. Let's see if I can set that down. There we go. Let's go ahead and move this up a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm rebuilding my PC right now. Well, I'm going to. And before you do something like this, it's pretty much like building a new PC. So before you do something like this, you want to think about what are going to be all of the issues that you're going to encounter. All right, and so I have a secondary motherboard. I'm going to show you now. So here's my PC. It's running right now. Over here on my little computer project thingy, I have the spare motherboard, and I also have another spare motherboard. I'll explain that in a second. But so here's the thing. When you are going to swap out for a new motherboard, you're going to lose all of your BIOS settings. So what I went ahead and did was I saved the BIOS settings as a text file, and I also saved them as whatever format Asus motherboards, at least this one, uses to keep track of all your BIOS settings. This is overclocked, and I'm also using the XMP settings, which stands for Extreme Memory Profile. That is Intel's way of overclocking the RAM. This RAM is 3000 megahertz. I believe the default is 2166. So there's some settings in there that I don't really want to have to mess with again. But what I'm probably going to do is go ahead and take pictures of every page that I can, just in case something goes wrong. I guess this motherboard would keep the settings if I don't pull the CMOS battery, but I'm not really going to chance that. So I have the text settings. I'll show you what that looks like. And I also went ahead and downloaded the most up-to-date BIOS settings. And this motherboard already has that. I did update it like a year ago or so, and they don't update those very often, and this chipset is no longer in production. So they're not going to really add any, later updates or any software like that. So let me show you what the BIOS settings look like, and then I'll also show you the BIOS firmware, I guess you'd call it. So I already have it open on my USB file here. So what we have here is these are duplicate files. I just renamed them because you can't actually see it, but there's another file here as another format, and I will show you that in a sec. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this, and as you can see, this text file has all of the BIOS settings, all of the settings for voltages, the RAM clock rates, the B clock speed, which is the motherboard's. Let's see if I can see it. Yeah, B clock frequency is 100 megahertz, and then the CPU multiplies that by 48 times, so it does 48 times the cycles that the motherboard does. That's a whole lot of stuff. We're not really going to get into that. But anyway, I have all the settings saved here in a text file, so I can at least look at that some other time. And then this file right here, this cap file, is the BIOS setting. I guess I'll show you guys where to find that real quick. Entertainment, Strix Z270E. Here we go. So if you're on Asus's website, Asus, however you want to say it, if you click right here on BIOS and firmware, this is for my motherboard, Z270E, BIOS 1302. I've already downloaded that, and it hasn't changed since last time. So as you can see here, it says 1302. So those are some of the things. Those are some of the things that you're going to want to think about if you're going to do a rebuild like this. BIOS settings, BIOS firmware. Those are your two most important things. If you don't want to go through a whole nother troubleshooting of overclocking, you can start where you were and work your way up from there. I think you can save multiple settings. You just have to actually turn them on in your BIOS. So you have to, I have like 4 settings. I'll show you right now actually. So let me get into the BIOS. I'll show you how that works actually. So in order to get into the BIOS, you're going to need to shut down your computer. So here we go. I like to do a full shutdown because this computer has a little bit of power issues sometimes. What is this crap? I don't even know what that is. shut down. So we're gonna shut her down. It's fully off. I'm gonna give it about 5 to 10 seconds just so certain capacitors discharge. And this is about the timing that the computer would restart itself. So I'm gonna turn it on. You're gonna see the input hit the screen, and we're gonna get a message here that is going to tell us what we need to do to get into the BIOS. So I'm gonna hit F2, you should only need to hit it once. And instead of booting into Windows, we have now booted into the BIOS screen. So from here you can see a lot of information like SATA drives, the boot priority. This basically tells the BIOS what drive you're going to use to boot into whatever operating system you have. There's tons and tons of settings here. All I want to show you guys is if I go to Tool here up at the top, and then I go to Asus Overclocking Profile, you can see I have 4 saved profiles here. 4 gigahertz liquid is the most current profile that I have. It's a little conservative, but I knew that this motherboard isn't 100%. Right there underneath that water cooler, there is a bent pin underneath the CPU. And I think it's one of the pins that addresses RAM, but I have had some weird intermittent power issues, so I didn't want to ever push it on this motherboard. So I just stuck with 4.8. I think we can get to 5, maybe even 5.1. So what I did was I scrolled down here, and then you can click Load Save Profile, blah, 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 and you can click F2 to save a new whatever that is. So if I go to here, you can see this .cmo file. I can't see that in Windows. I'm pretty sure if you turned on hidden folders, you would be able to see it. So anyway, I have my BIOS setting loaded onto the USB as both a text and a CMO file. This is the file format that I believe the BIOS will use when I swap motherboards. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. You just keep hitting exit and it'll say quit without saving, and I push OK. And then what your computer will do after exiting BIOS is it will always reboot. It'll boot into the operating system. So there we go. You'll see the booting screen here. So that is just a few of the things that I wanted to mention here. There we go. So I believe I'm ready. And one other thing worth noting, the original M.2 SSD drive that I built this computer with, I have since gotten another one, as well as 2 other 860 EVO SATA SSDs and 2 SATA hard drives. So I have a lot of storage. I have about 7 terabytes of storage. The reason why I was mentioning that first drive is this motherboard, I'm pretty sure a lot of them do this, this particular motherboard for that M.2 drive, the original one I had in there, shares the same lanes as the PCI Express lane, which is basically a highway of wires that runs underneath where the video card is, this thing here. It shares that same highway, and so if you use that M.2, that M.2 drive at full capacity at X16, at 16 times whatever bandwidth or whatever, it uses all of the lanes and it'll disable 2 of the SATA ports. So this was really important with this motherboard. I did a lot of reading, I double checked. There's even a warning in the BIOS that tells you, hey, when you turn this on, you're going to lose 2 of your SATA ports. So as of right now, I'm completely maxed out on drives. I cannot use any more, but I'm totally cool with what I have. What I'll do in the future is just switch the 500 gigabyte drives to 1 terabyte or 2. No big deal. I still have tons of storage. No big deal. So hopefully that made sense. Before you rebuild your computer, make sure you have all of your settings that you're going to need, because it's going to be a pain in the butt to have to go back. You're going to have to rebuild your computer with your old motherboard. Like I said, I believe if you keep your CMOS battery, I'll show you what that is. Let's see if we can find her. Oh, I don't even see it. I think mine is, let's take a look on the other motherboard. It's a little bit easier to see. There it is. It's underneath my graphics card. This thing here. That is your CMOS battery. And what that battery does is that battery is going to keep an active memory of the settings in BIOS. And the reason why motherboard manufacturers have a battery, a backup battery in there that saves the settings, is because if you don't know what you're doing, I had a coworker tried to overclock his computer. It didn't work. It didn't even boot. It actually failed to boot. It failed to boot back into BIOS. That is a hard, that's just a bad setting. It's a bad situation. The voltages are wrong. The CPU won't even boot. The GPU won't boot. Whatever it is, the entire computer will not boot, and it's really scary to see if you're not familiar with switching BIOS settings and how your computer is going to act. So what happens, you can't boot your computer until you pull that battery. So what you do is you shut off your computer. It's a hard reset. If you've ever messed around in the BIOS, you get really comfortable with just hard resetting your computer when it's in booting loops, because it's just going to keep doing that because it doesn't know what to do. So the CMOS battery, when you pull it, completely resets all of those settings to default, and it is by design. This particular motherboard has a dual BIOS firmware, meaning they save it in parallel. If something happens and it can't boot, it'll switch over to the other one, and I believe once it gets a clean boot, it'll refresh the other one. So gone are the days of losing power when you're updating your firmware and your computer's bricked. So a little more technical than maybe some people wanted to know, but these are things you need to know about your hardware if you're going to be working on it. I have read a lot about this particular BIOS, at least when I was building the computer, because I wanted to know what to expect. When you're overclocking your computer, you're going to have issues. No matter how good you are, you're probably going to have issues. So with that out of the way, I have all of the settings that I believe I need in order to do the rebuild. Let's take this computer apart and put the new motherboard in. I'm going to go ahead and put a new CMOS battery in the new motherboard, because why not? There's no settings on it that I care about. Let's dive into that. Alrighty, so I just moved my computer setup into the kitchen, and I'm going to try to boot it up at first just to make sure that where I plugged it in works fine and everything. It sounds stupid, but you got to check all these simple things right off the bat. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Just plug it in, make sure it works. That way I know I can eliminate one issue if I have any later on. Simple process of elimination. So here we go. Go ahead and boot her up. This is the first time boot up over here. I don't think I'll have any issues, but we'll see. Looks like it's booting up. Oh, I guess I should plug the display port into the... Oh no, it's plugged in. Now I need to turn this on. There we go. Ah, what do you know? Looks like it's booting up fine. Alrighty. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some pictures of where all the cords are plugged into, just to make it easy on myself when I pull the other motherboard out. I'm going to try to move the least amount of things possible, but everything plugged into the power supply has to come out, because I have a brand new 850 watt power supply. I don't think the other one I would have had would power this. Maybe it would, but I don't know. It's 4 years old. It's a good time to upgrade. So just going to double check that the system works here. Boom. Looks like we are up and running. Alrighty. I don't know why, but I'm just going to double check that we have the BIOS. Alright. So, let's take a look inside of here. Here we go. I like this case. It's really easy to take apart. Ooh, that's not good. I hear lightning. Alright. So like I said, it's good to note where everything is plugged in. And then that way, later on, as long as you unplug the least amount of things possible, you should be able to get up and running within 30 minutes of plugging everything into the system, as long as the new motherboard doesn't have any issues. So, here we go. I'm going to move everything out of the way, get the new motherboard over here, and just start swapping components out to the new motherboard, just to make it easy. The only thing I'm going to do now is move over one drive. That's all I want. I just want the boot drive. I just want to get things up and running. Yeah, I'll do that. That way I can set it as the highest boot priority and get the BIOS loaded, hopefully. Let's go. Alright, looks like you can see this camera doesn't go up very high, but you can see most of the components. So let's go from here. I'm gonna wear one of these. I already have a watch on, which I feel like would also act as a static thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys how to remove the CMOS battery first. I'm gonna make sure I have that. If not, I'm gonna go grab that. I don't think I grabbed that. I'll be right back. Alrighty. This is the CMOS battery. I'm gonna pull it out. It's pretty cool. There's a little latch in there. I'm gonna put this stupid wristband thing on. There we go. It's kind of hard to put this on, actually. It's really frustrating to put on because you have to like pull on this, but it's hard to pull on that while it's on. Could have done a little better design there. I think as long as the metal's touching your hand, you're good. So I'm gonna clamp that to my case. I'm already wearing a watch, like I said. So what you do is, there's a little latch here. Let's see if I can zoom in further. Oh, that's as far as this goes. Let's scoot down. There we go. Okay, so there's a little latch, and you just pull on the latch. And you heard it click out, and then the battery just kind of falls out. So there's the old CMOS battery. Here's a brand new one. It's always good to double check. CR2032, CR2032. Alrighty, so we're gonna grab the new one, and we're gonna put that bad boy in there. That way, oops, that way we have fresh CMOS memory. Ta-da! Let's start moving components over. Alrighty, so I'm going to grab that M.2 drive right there. Let's go ahead and do that. Like I said, I'm going to plug this thing into the case here. And I'm going to go ahead and undo this bad boy. Just going to take my time. Okay, I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's a little tiny screw. Little tiny screw. I'm going to set that off to the side and come up here and show you guys. There we go. So, once you undo the screw, it kind of pops up. And then what you can do is you can just grab it. Should just be able to pull it out. There we go. And it just pops out. Let's go to the next thing here. Here we go. God, this thing doesn't stay. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to do that in reverse. And what we're going to do is, see if you can see it. It's hard to watch the camera and watch what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, looks like you can see it. So I'm just going to grab it over here. And it's just going to slot in there. I just want to show this real quick. Let's see if you can see that. Oop. You see how there's a little notch? You can't put it in backwards. Okay, here we go. See if you can still see it. Did you hear it click? And you see how it's kind of tilted up? I hope you saw that. And then now all you do is push it down and bolt it in. And you don't need much pressure at all. Just barely any. Why does that seem so low? Ah, I forgot the standoff. Hope I didn't bend anything. There's a little standoff on this guy. I'll show you real quick. And these actually come in the motherboard. Just a little standoff that holds it at the right height. And it goes right underneath it. I'm gonna pull it out again actually. Once again, hand tight is more than good enough. There we go, that looks right. Let's get it straight. There we go. Much better. Now it's sitting level. There we go. And I'm only going to put that one guy in there. So now, let's go ahead and get the graphics card out. Actually, let's take the RAM out. Let me see if I can show you guys the RAM. That's the RAM right there. There's 2 sticks of RAM. And on the side of them, I'll show you on the other motherboard. It's just a lot easier. But there's 2 little tabs on the very end. And all you do is push them down on one side. Yeah, on the back side. I'll show you on the other motherboard. So you just push this down and it'll pop open. I think I got it. Hope so. The sleeve is kind of falling off. Oh man, that felt weird. Hope I didn't mess anything up. Nope. And there we have it. 1 stick of RAM. So I'm going to set this guy off to the side. And I'm going to repeat the process. Here, let's see if we can get a better view on the side. Let's do this. Let's zoom out. And we'll do, oh, we have to do it. Okay. Technical difficulties. Here we go. There we go. Much better view. Hopefully my camera stays there. There we go. Now I can tilt it this side. Okay. So, let's see if we can see those tabs. Yeah, you can actually see them. You see these little tabs right here? You see how that one's in and all the other ones are out? Really simple. Just push down on it. You see how it moved? There we go. I just had to pull it harder on that one side. So there we go. RAM stick number 2. And this is the first one that goes in. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with this since I know this stick works. So let's go over to the new motherboard. And if you paid attention, that was in the second DIMM slot. So it's the same exact thing we're going to do over here with these Asus motherboards. You want to be on the second RAM slot. So here we go. Should be lined up just like it is. And this little slot on here only goes in one direction. If you'll notice, it's a little bit closer to this side. It'll only go in one direction. First thing I'm gonna do as well is blow this off. I just did this the other day, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. Here we go. All right, let's get to it. Just line it up. Check the slot, looks good. Let's see. Looks good, now I just gotta push. Ta-da! And we have one RAM stick in the slot. There we go. Next, let's get the graphics card. Actually, we're taking this out. Here we go. So, if you look here on the side, see if I can see this. There are some screws right here, and it's also held into the PCIe Express slot. So, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to unplug it, and you're also going to want to unscrew this. And it'll stay where it's at, especially in this orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and do just what I said. I'm going to unplug the power supply cable. There's a little button. This hasn't been unplugged in 4 years, so surprisingly easy. Let's get our handy dandy little screwdriver here. Scoot back. What we're gonna do is we are going to unscrew this bad boy. All these really do is keep it in place. These aren't like tight. Anything on a computer, you usually barely have it tight. There's no need to crank on it. So I'm gonna set that off to the side. We're gonna go ahead and get the next one. In this particular card, there are 2 screws. Let's see if we can show those a little bit better. There we go. And now the card is loose. I don't know if you noticed, but the card shifted just a little bit. That's okay. Now, the card is free from the it's free from the back, so it's not being bolted in. That is very important. Do not ever try to remove a graphics card if there's a bolt back here. You're gonna damage something. Always, always, always remove these bolts first. Make sure it is unplugged, like I did. Make sure the power supply is unplugged. Make sure it's unbolted. And then you're ready. And there's still one more thing. You have to undo the PCI. It's just like the RAM. It's just a little tiny thing that you click undone. I can't really see it on, well, I guess you can see it on the video. It is right here. Here we go. Zoom in. I think, yeah, you can see it. It's right there. See it? Right next to the RAM, or the thing. So I'm gonna pop that. Oh, really easy. And now the graphics card is free. It popped out. Oh, haha. We need to remove this whole thing over here. This thing over here. So I'm just going to see if I can line it back up. Push it back in. Haha, I lied to you guys. We need to pull all of this off. We need to pull this entire thing off, because it's in the way. Let me think. Oh wait. I think I can get it off. Let me see here. Oh, this is what I need to remove. I need to remove this upper bracket here. I remember when I built the computer, I contemplated leaving that off because it's not actually holding anything. But let's go ahead and undo it. And all of these screws are the same size, so that's good. No need to like sort them out. Haha! It's being held in by these other bolts. There we go. There we go. This was the only thing really holding us in, so now we should be good to go. Set the screw down. Important reminder, I'm still wearing the anti-static strap. I'm actually going to try to get it a little bit tighter. There we go. Nice and tight. We're going to pop the PCI Express remover tab thing right there. That thing right there. It's just a real quick push. And the entire graphics card should come out now. Ta-da! And there's some cords in the way, and that's it. And there we have it. We have a Asus Strix GTX 1050 Ti. This card has done me very well. I'm going to keep it just in case. Who knows, maybe I'll start mining on it. Let's set that bad boy off to the side. Oops, that was not good. Set it down like all the other YouTubers. See, everybody loves putting them up like that. I just got a text, I'm going to check that, and we're going to open the new graphics card. Stay tuned. Alrighty. And I already showed you guys taking this out, so I'm just going to do this quick and easy. Set all this stuff to the side here real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and plug back into the computer here. And we're going to undo this. Oops. Oh well. It's just a piece of, just an air thing. Here we go. Let's do this side here. It's actually been sitting in this box since that last video. There we go. Asus Tuf RTX 3070 overclocked. This is going to be one bad gaming machine. Here we go. Notice how almost all electronics are covered in Mylar. It's anti-static packaging, so it doesn't get shocked while shipping. There we go. Pull that out. Let's see what's underneath here. Probably a user manual. Yep. Some type of user manual. And some type of... Oh, that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a card. Almost like a... Come on. Come on, autofocus. There we go. Sweet. That's pretty sick. So yeah, it has a manual, some other stuff. Let's get that out of the way. Alright. Once again, I'm still plugged in. Let's go ahead and undo this bad boy. Look at that. It's not been opened yet, so this is actually brand new. I've heard of people buying these on Amazon and they're used. There we go. You can see there's this little sticker thing. Oh yeah. That is a fat card. Look at that. That thing's huge. Let's compare it to the other one. I'm going to pull off. Oh, that's neat. There's a little guard for the PCI Express connectors. I'm going to go ahead and find the best spot to undo this. Oh man, it smells like a new graphics card. It smells like cancer. Look at that. That is one sexy video card. Very minimalist. Sorry about the rain noise. I'm gonna close the window here in a sec. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look at this bad boy. So this guy, oh, that's so cool. They have plugs. So we have 1, 2, 3 display ports and 2 HDMIs for a total of 5 outputs. That is awesome. I am not worthy. So we're going to go ahead and leave those connected for now. And we're going to go ahead and pull off this guy here. Oh wow, it's popping these off. I didn't mean for it to do that. Wow, that is like form-fitted in there. Exceptional packaging, I must say. Let's do this again. Let's put this guy in there. Wow, look at that. These are actually like molded to the shape of the port. That's so cool. Attention to detail, I'm a fan of it. So, let's grab this. Plug these bad boys in. Let's set them next side by side and see how much different they are. Wow. Here is the GTX 1050 Ti. Oh wow. There's quite a difference here. It's about, I'd say about 2 inches longer. See if you can see that. It's about 2 inches longer. And the width, it is definitely thicker. This one's about 2 inches. This one's about 1.5 inches. So yeah, definitely a more beefy card. So let's get the Strix out of the way. Let's get the RTX into the new motherboard. Also to note, on the back here, there is also sticky, or at least I thought there was. Maybe they want that there. No, there's no way they want that there. There we go. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty satisfying. Throw that to the side. And let's go over to the new motherboard. And right before I do this, I'm going to set the card down and re-plug in the anti-static strap. It popped off on me earlier, so I'm trying to keep it close. Okay, so we got the strap on. Let's leave the graphics card out. We'll just plug the CPU in, the RAM, and the main drive, and then we're going to pull everything off of this motherboard and put the new one in, because it'll be easier to put the graphics card in after the motherboard's in. So let's go ahead and undo. Let's undo the water cooler and then all the power connectors. Let's go ahead and do that. Grab my, here we go, little graphics card. Does that come off too? Alrighty, let's zoom in here so you guys can see. Okay, first things first, I'm going to unplug this USB header here. I'll show you where it goes. It comes all the way down to right here. into one of my USB headers on the motherboard. That's what controls this. So let's go ahead and take her off. Man, that is in there. Wow. Maybe that doesn't come out. Okay, yeah, it does. Man, that is the tightest USB connection I've ever felt in my entire life. Here we go. We are going to pull that out of the motherboard. Man, that's hard. Please don't fall off this tripod. Ugh. I don't know why the image, there we go. The image was flipping. Let's see if I can get this off. That is the hardest thing to remove. Oh my god. Probably should pull the drive first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to pull the drive first. I don't want to ruin those cables. There we go. I got it. Okay, so let's get that out of there. That's what this cable looks like. This is the control for the water cooler. Set that off to the side. We're going to move the power cable for that. Alrighty. Let's get the water cooler block off. Yeah, that's just gonna have to sit off to the side for a while. Looks like we're all the way zoomed out. Okay. Here we go. Wow, that wasn't very tight at all. Wow. One of them wasn't really tight. Okay, let's go ahead and get these guys off. I'm just gonna do a little at a time on both sides. It's kind of hard for you guys to see. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing though. And I believe these have some type of screw or like a spring on the bottom so they don't pop out. I believe that's what these have, because you don't want to drop screws on your motherboard. Oh, what did I just say? Okay, I'm gonna grab this other one so I don't have issues. Man, it is hard to grab stuff once it's inside the motherboard. There we go. Let's not do that again. Okay. So now the water cooler block should come off. It has thermal compound on it. Oh shoot. That cable. Dang it. I'm gonna need to unplug that. I didn't think about that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to bolt this so it doesn't move. because we're gonna have to go to the back. Probably could have planned this out better, but oh well. I'm just gonna put 2 screws on it for now. This cable here is holding it in. It goes all the way to the back. I can't remember exactly where, but it goes somewhere. As long as that doesn't move, we're good. That's all we care about right now. Okay, so as of right now, we need to tilt the we need to tilt the case up. We need to tilt the case up and get to the back. So let's do that. Here we go. Case is all tilted up. And let's go to the back and take a peek here. All right, well, you're gonna learn how to take apart an S340 Elite case right now. I'm gonna get unhooked just for a second here. So, first things first, when you're undoing one of these cases, there, now I don't have to blur everything. Okay. So, first things first, you're gonna pop this. See if you can see that. Yeah. So you pop the top here. It seems violent, but there's these little tabs that pop off. And then this comes off. And this guy just has some little tabs in the back. No big deal. Pretty easy. Here we go. So this just pops back and then off. So there's little tabs on the bottom. This is just like a ledge, and then on the top, see if you can see them. Yeah, you can see them. Up here there's little tabs that correspond to little slots on the case. Let's get all this out of the way. Now, we need to figure out where that cable is that was holding me up. So I'm gonna look around on the front, and we're gonna follow that cable. It's this cable right here. See that cable? It looks like a SATA power cable. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and undo that. SATAs usually just pop out. So we're gonna undo that. And now that's out of the way. So I can pull this cable through on the front. And I'm going to show you something that I really don't like about these water coolers. Ooh, we gotta go down. Alright, so what I want to show you guys, there's not good lighting, well, there's okay lighting. So there is this, let's see here, which one's which? Here we go. There's this, I really don't like it. I don't know why they did this. So there is a, oops, I don't know why is that doing that? I have no clue why this just switched to focus. That's so annoying. I don't know why this camera does that. I have no clue why it does that. I have no clue why it just switches to manual focus. Okay, See that cable there? That is attached to the SATA power. It drives me nuts. I have no clue why they did that. It makes it really easy to break that cable. So you have to pull that out as well. And it's really hard to get to. See? I think this design is really stupid. I don't know why they did that. It's just like a fan header. Okay, let's undo the other fan header. See if I can undo this. There we go. Now, almost everything is off of there. There we go. Now everything is off of the water block and we can move it off to the side. I'm not going to touch the other cables just yet. Man, I don't know why that does that. Hold on. Here we go. I have no clue why, but this camera, right now I'm moving the thing around the lens and it's zooming in out. I have no clue why. Every now and then it just switches to manual focus. It drives me nuts. So I try to manually zoom in and it doesn't work. Okay, so like I said, everything is off of the water cooler block. I'm gonna tilt the computer back down and let's pull it off. Or, you know what I mean, undo it from the thing. Here we go. There we go. Now we can undo the water block. There we go. And it's just going to sit off to the side. Here we go. That's gross. That's really weird, actually. I don't know about this thermal paste. I'm gonna use better stuff this next time around. So, what I'm gonna do now is all of this stuff is just gonna sit off to the side, which is not ideal, but hey, I'm trying to make this easy. See, just sitting off to the side. Okay, so now is one of the next most important steps is pulling the CPU out. And I will be protected for this move as well. I'm gonna plug in this thing, but before I do that, I'm gonna wipe off the thermal paste. Where is, there we go. Maybe it's easier to pull it out and wipe it actually. Let's do that. In case you've never pulled out an LGA 1151 CPU, let's make sure we're set. Let's zoom in a little. Okay, so there's this latch here. So there's this latch here. And what you do is you push it down and out, and it will start to move and get out of the CPU's way. And then you can lift it up and get it completely out of the way. There's this little cover here, which I don't know how it's still holding. Oh yeah. The CPU snaps into, come on, autofocus, there we go. The CPU snaps into this little black bracket. So I'm going to set that off to the side. And I'm going to show you why I'm doing this whole entire rebuild in the first place. Okay. I don't know if I did this or not. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna pull the camera off actually. Here we go. So, do you see that pin? You see it? Come on, autofocus. There we go. You see it? That pin is bent. And I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but I'm pretty sure that's causing some issues here. Wow, autofocus is being a punk right now. There we go. There we go. So let's get over to the new one. Like I said, we're gonna wipe that off and slap it in. Alrighty. So, oop, might as well put this on. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the old thermal paste. Man, this stuff is gross. I'm gonna try to move the old motherboard too. Okay, let's try to get this stuff. Come on, autofocus, there you go. Okay, it's kind of like caked on, it's really weird. Yeah, I don't know about this thermal paste. That's weird. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay, we're doing it. We're gonna pop it out. I think it just pops out of these. It should. There we go. Okay, so now I have the CPU all pulled out. I'm gonna make sure my hands are 100% clean before I touch anything else. Let's go ahead and set this guy down. Alrighty, not sure where my Q-tips are, but we're gonna continue this. My hands are clean. Let's make sure none of the thermal compound got where it shouldn't have. Alrighty. I'm gonna wipe the bottom with alcohol and the top with alcohol. This is just an alcohol wipe. There's like nothing on here, to be honest. Okay. So I'm just doing this so there's no residue, so we don't have any weird mixed thermal stuff. Ah, I missed a spot, I didn't realize that. And I'm doing this just in case I got what do you call it? Any oil from my fingers. Just real lightly wiping it. I'm not doing a whole lot. Beautiful, looks beautiful. Guess I should put it back in this thing now. So something to note on these little sockets for the CPU, there's a triangle. It's where the triangle goes on the CPU as well. You can't mess it up. There's one on the motherboard as well, I believe. We'll find out. Double checking I didn't get any crap on here. Blow that off. This side up. There's the triangle. Ooh, there's also a triangle on the bottom. I just realized that. There's a triangle. Man, it's hard to move backwards. There's a triangle on here too, right there. See it? So, I'm gonna line up the triangle on that with the triangle on this. Basically just set it in there. Did I just scratch it? That's frustrating. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. So now we have the triangle matching on this and the triangle matching on the CPU. See it? Triangle, triangle. So let's go ahead and slap her in the motherboard. Okay, and this one does not have any bent pins, so hopefully we have some better luck with this motherboard. Okay, like I said, you just push this down. Get that off of there. You just push that down and this will lift up. Do it all in one motion. So we're gonna blow this off and I'm gonna hold this so it doesn't fall off. Even though you've already seen me do this like 5 times, I'm gonna do it again. All right. Triangles match. Let's get the CPU into place. Yeah, I guess it says this side up. So there we go. That's it. You just set it in nice and easy. And then this comes down. And then you set it in like that, nothing else. So let us unplug everything else from the other motherboard. Whoa, we're all zoomed in here. Sorry, I can't get all the way in there. Oh well, I'm gonna unplug everything. Boom, 24 pin adapter. This is for the CPU, I believe. Or this is just all your power to the motherboard. Boom. That is undone. I'm leaving all the SATA for now because I want to organize those and make sure I get them all in the same spot. So, there's also one up here. I'm going to show you. There's one up at the top here. This is the CPU, I believe. Oh, there's a button. I knew that. Can't do that with my hand out, but I'm gonna do that. Let's do it from over here. All right. See if we can undo this. I think there's a button. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna need to get in the way. Let's see here. Okay. Man, that is weird. I think that's a button. It's hard to it's hard to reach. Come on. I swear I'm pushing this button. Let's grab a screwdriver. It's hard to get a good angle. I can't see that. Man, that is hard to get out of there. It's two 4-pin plugs. Or two, yeah, 4-pin plugs. Not having fun with this. Driving me nuts. I can't see it. That's what's driving me nuts. There we go. That's what I need to do. Come on. About to get angry. Let's stand it up.
$2,000 years later.
Alright, I got most things unplugged. I'm actually going to take this out just to make it easier when I'm moving things around, because that's not that hard to put back. So I'm going to take that out right now. The fans are actually screwed through into the radiator. If you saw my water cooler or my liquid cooled video, I'll post the link to it right here. I think right here. Yeah, you would have seen that if you saw that link. You see it's moving now. Oh, I should have known that. Okay, last screw. There we go. Much better. Why didn't I do that at first? Here's the radiator. A little dirty. I'll blow it off here in a bit. And the fans, I'm just gonna leave them, I think, for now. They're not really in the way. The water block was just driving me nuts every time I was moving things. It was in the way. So, we got everything unplugged from the motherboard. It's time to undo this fan and pull the motherboard out. I might be able to do it with, we'll see. I'm gonna keep all the screws that go with each item next to them so we know where we're at. Alrighty, so I'm gonna grab some scissors. I lied, there's one more thing plugged into the motherboard I'm gonna show you real quick. And that is the standoffs for the water cooler block. And they're right here, they're holding a little bracket on the back. I'll show you that real quick. This bracket here is being held on by that, so I'm gonna pull that off. Oops. Ta-da! There's the bracket. Oh, I guess there's glue. I'm actually glad I didn't put that on there. Maybe I'll put it on the next one. I'm going to set that in the exact orientation that it was in. Okay. Everything is off the motherboard. Let's undo some cables so we can set her back down. Let's undo, put some zip ties on the CPU power cables. Let's undo those. What the heck? It's like water on there. That's weird. Man, that's not hard at all. Note to self, don't ever cut these that close again. Let's see, I think I can get this one. Ta-da! Alright, so I'm going to try to get everything off that's plugged into the power supply. Anything that comes from the case can stay. So, let's see here. This is the motherboard power supply. That is going to come down here. It's a mess back here, but there's not much you can really do. That doesn't even plug in. Does it? I guess it does. Okay, what is that? That looks like... What is this? I think this is peripheral. I think that's what that is. Let's take a look at what that is. Oh, those are fans. That's a fan. And that's a fan. Okay. Let's see where those go. That goes to here. So we have fan. Why is it so tight? We have a fan here. And I think this is another fan. I think. What is this? Yeah, that's another fan. So those guys I kind of want off on their own. These are the case fans. So we're going to disconnect those from the power supply. And then we're going to move them up here so that it's easy to know what those are. My back's starting to hurt. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So now, what we have here. Man, it's a mess. You can grab in a chair. Ah. Okay. So what we need to do, like I said, we need to get everything unplugged. Anything that, like I said, that has to do with the case, like this is the USB header for the case, all of that stuff can stay. So I think to make it easier, all of this stuff can just kind of go off to the side. Just so it's so much easier to unplug everything else. So that's coming up here. Or so I thought. Okay. Now, what is this? HD audio. I believe this comes from the motherboard as well, or the case as well. Yeah, see? All of these things that come from the case. I'm just pulling these out because it's just so hard now that everything's plugged in to know where anything comes from. Alright, fan headers, HD audio, whatever else all this stuff is. Alright. What is this? This looks like USB 2.0 header. Same thing. That comes from the case. See how anything comes from up here, it comes from the case. Those are all going up here. Pretty sure all of these are, but whatever. I just want them out of the way. Okay. Let's find out. This must be the power cable. Where does that go? There's so much stuff. I can't even tell. Let's see here. That goes to one of these. What is that? Oh, that's like a USB that's not even being used. Why? Oh, it's like a Gosh. That is so weird. I remember this when I built it too. I was like, what do I do with that? See? That is a HDMI cable that comes... I don't know. Don't ask me questions. Okay. We're getting there. There's only a couple more left. Let's see. And these are both from the thing. What is that? Did I USB tie that? It looks like I did. Ah, that's where all the power cords came from. That is definitely going off to the side. So as you can see, all of the stuff that has to deal with the case, like the buttons for the case and everything, those all get wired up here. I don't want to touch those. I just want them out of the way. Even though they all, pretty much everything that was there was from the case, I wanted to confirm. So now I know that pretty much everything else is either SATA, motherboard, CPU, or peripherals. And that's easy. You can just unplug all the stuff and replug it in. I have pictures of everything, and I know where all these go too. So that won't be that hard. So let's go ahead and unplug this. Let's get this big boy out of the way, if we can. Cables that have been in one orientation for 4 years do not like to move. Here we go. That does not want to move. Let's pull all these out. Get some space. All right, we're undoing the power supply. Let's see if you can see this. There's 4 bolts down here. I'm gonna undo those for the power supply. See them? Right here. The other thing first, we'll see. Man, this is hard to get these out. Okay, let's take a peek here. Yeah, the power supply is bolted to that. Let's undo that. Probably should have done that first. Oh well. And I remember I put the power supply in upside down because of the way I wanted the fans facing. There we go. Ta-da! Let's check this out. Okay. So now we have a loose power supply. How did I even get that out? Whoa, how did I even get that in there? I don't even remember how I got this in here. Does it fit in here? Oh wow, it does. Alright, let's unplug everything. VGA. Man, these do not like coming out. Holy cow. There we go. Wiggling it is the key here. There's a button. You just squeeze and then twist or wiggle. CPU gone. And this is a big one. This must be the, I'm gonna do that one last. Here's the peripheral. Gone. Here is the, what is this? This feels bigger. What is that? SATA. SATA 1. This one's probably SATA 2. Come on. There we go. SATA 2. And now, is this the big bad boy? Boom. Motherboard. Gone. Boom. CPU? Doesn't say. It must be. Oh, CPU is over here. There's CPU. I don't know what that one is. Oh well. And there we have it. Everything is unplugged. I guess this wasn't upside down. Weird. All the letters are right over here, but everything else is upside down. Oh well. I'm gonna blow this guy off. Figure out what I need to do with these cables, and then we can pull the motherboard out. I'm gonna pause it there. Alrighty, here we go. Let's just start unplugging things. So, what do we got here? We got, this is, let's see, VGA. I don't know if you can read that from that far away. See that? VGA. That's the graphics one. So, let's cut that loose just like I did the other ones. If I can find the scissors. Here we go. Man, I just realized I'm gonna have to go buy some zip ties. Here we go. Man, why did I do these so tight? I guess I never thought I was gonna do this. Don't want to cut that cord. Man, this is frustrating. Here, let's do one that I can actually do so I can have a victory. That was the VGA cable, like I said. Maybe now that I can wiggle it, I can do a couple things with it. Where's those scissors? There's too much stuff on the desk right now. All right, let's see if I can get in here. Ooh, almost. There we go. So now, one VGA cable removed. Ta-da! I'm just gonna throw that off to the side. All right, next, what do we have here? Gonna leave those there. Actually, maybe I could pull those out. Fan coming out. Top fan. Bottom fan. Bottom fan coming out. Alrighty, we're getting there. What do we have here? I just moved the CPU power. CPU power. tossing that to the side. Shoot. I hope I didn't lose any of those. There we go. All right, what do we have here? We have the motherboard supply and then this other one, which I think was, let's count here. Let's see how big this is. That goes there. Oh. I don't know where the other one goes. Maybe it does go to the, just straight to the power supply. Oh well, we'll find out. And what else? So we have SATA. I'm gonna unplug the power, just the power. Boom. Power 1. Done. Oh, we have another one. Man, these are rough. Where does that go? Oh, that's the solid state drive up front. Pop that off. We're gonna reuse this, I believe. Is that power? Yes, that is power. SATA power. SATA power. Boom, off to the side. Whatever this is, peripheral. Remember, that's what I had the, I don't know, the fan headers for the motherboard, or the all-in-one cooler, I think. I can review the footage. That's off to the side. Boom. We're almost there. Almost there. Boom, there we go. So now we have SATA data. I believe this is data. Yeah, it says SATA, so that's the data. We're not reusing the power, but we're reusing the data. So let's see what this is. I believe this is, yeah, so this goes to the power supply. We're not reusing any of the power supply cables from this one. Somebody told me you might have issues, so hopefully we have enough from the other one. So SATA is gone. Boom. Next up is, what is this? What is that? I think that's my, what is, I think that's for my RGB. Let's see. I think it is. Let's double check. Bottom comes to top. Top? Yes. So we're gonna leave this guy here because this went onto the motherboard. Yeah, it says, it says BRG, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say RBG. That'll just stay off to the side. Boom, easy. So, we have a SATA data, the RGB cable, I'm not touching those. SATA data on my left, I'm not touching that. This is the, is that data? Or is that data and power? Whatever, we'll figure it out. Power. I think that's power. I think I can reuse these. These weren't specific to the power supply. Well, we're gonna unplug that. Oh wow, I remember this. I had so much of a hard time getting that in there. Gosh. I think I had to, oh gosh. Let's move that, come up, come on. Can you come through? Wow, did I have to move the hard drive? You've got to be kidding me. I did, that's insane. So there's a hard drive, there's two hard drives right here. This is SATA data. Oh, ooh, I need to pay attention to this. That was here. I need to really pay attention to this because this is something I don't want to mess up. I want all my drives to be numbered the same. I don't think it's gonna change, but I'm gonna pay attention to that. So what I had to do was I had to undo this hard drive here, scoot it back, and then pull the SATA power cable through. Wow, I remember how much of a pain this was. Gosh, that's annoying. I shouldn't have to move it much, so let's just try barely undoing it. Let's try that. Oh, okay, I guess I'm gonna undo it all the way. Still recording, yes. One, two, three. There are 3 screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. Ah, crap. That's what I was hoping didn't happen. Please pick it up. Please pick it up. This one's a little magnetic. Please pick it up. Please, 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 please. Where did it go? There it is. There we go. Ta-da. Okay, third one. Okay, that is out. Should be able to slide the hard drive a little back. I'm leaving this SATA connected because that's H. SATA data. Oh, I have to undo that. Okay, please hard drive, please move. Does it move? It moves! Okay. That's all I needed, just that little tiny bit. Pretty annoying. SATA power. Boom, we got it. That was frustrating. I forgot all about that. That was really annoying. I didn't do a video on it, but I added this drive like a couple months ago and it wasn't fun. Okay, let us replug the data in, and we're gonna leave that hard drive loose. Well, we'll give it 1 screw because I'm gonna have to undo it again anyway. So let's scoot her forward and just give her a screw. I meant to do that. There we go. So we got this, we got RGB. Whew, my back's hurting. All right, there we go. Okay, so we have, I'm gonna go grab a sticky note because I need to write this down. So this is gonna be my Western Digital 1 terabyte. This is gonna be the Barracuda, or no. Seagate. I have it backwards. The bottom one is my Western Digital 1 terabyte. The top one, I think, is my Seagate Barracuda. Yeah, there we go. I can see it. 4 terabyte. So this is going to be, let's see. C was the main boot drive. D was the second M.2 SSD. C, D, E. Was there an E? I don't remember what E was. F was the fake disk drive. I have ISO, what is it called? Whatever, software that makes CDs so you can make ISOs. That's F drive. The G drive is the first SATA SSD that I used, and the H drive is the second one. I don't remember what E, oh, E is this one. There we go. C, boot drive, M2, D, secondary M2, E, first hard disk drive, E, yeah, first hard disk drive, 1 terabyte. F is the fake disk drive. G is the 860 EVO SSD, SATA, and then H is the other, man, my brain is fried. The other SATA, and then I is the external, and then F is the SD card, and then, wait, C, F, G, H, I, Yeah, and then J is this drive. It's a lot. Okay. So we're gonna try to keep these bad boys here. Cause, yeah. I can pull that up. I can pull these up. What is this? SATA. Okay. I'm gonna grab something to write this down so I can just keep this the same and make it easy. Writing this down. H drive is the middle SSD, SATA SSD. And this guy, I'm gonna try to move these cables out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna unplug it. Oh, I guess I could just keep those plugged in. Where is that? Oh, yeah, duh. I'll unplug it. Okay, so H is that one. What SATA port does that go to? That goes to, which one is it? This guy? This one here is 3. 6. 6 and 5. 3 and 4. Whatever. It's the top middle one. Top middle, and I believe that is SATA 3. Top middle, SATA 3. H drive. H drive. H drive, middle SSD, port 3, top middle. I'm doing this that way hopefully Windows maps them all the exact same on the next motherboard and I don't have to deal with it. I'm already used to the exact location that they're in, and if you've been using a computer for that long, like, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay. H drive is the middle SSD, is the location on the actual machine. Port 3, top middle. Boom. And now we have, I don't really need, yeah, I guess I do. I don't need to unplug it from there, but I'll unplug it from here. All right, so let's start with J drive. J drive, just because that's where I'm at. J drive is the top HDD, and that is gonna be, and I'm willing to bet it's port 4. Let's see, because it was one of the last ones that I added. Oh, I'm wrong. That is going to be, make sure that's right. It's this guy here. That is going to be port number 1. It's going to be the top first. Top first. Okay, J drive is going to be port number, what did I say? Top first is number 1, I believe. Port 1, top. I'll just call it top. So it's in the front. I guess I could call it whatever. We'll just leave it that way. Okay, and I'm actually going to unplug these. It'll just make it a little bit easier here in a sec. These are just SATA data cables. Maybe I'll leave it plugged in. Just because I remember there's specific ones plugged into specific things. Okay, let's do E drive. E drive. E drive is going to be the bottom HDD, and this is going to be port number, ooh, what's that one? Middle bottom is 4. Oh, this one. E drive is the bottom HD. It's port number 4. Middle bottom. I should remember that. Boom, and that leaves process of elimination. The G drive must be this one. Yep. There we go. So the G drive is port number 2, the top bottom. So the G drive is the, I guess this would be the right SSD. This is port, oh shoot, I just forgot. 2, I think it should be 2. Yeah, should be 2. Port 2, and that is the top bottom. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a sec. Here we go. Let's move these screws out of the way. I don't remember what this went to. Maybe the solid state? Yeah. Let's keep that with that. Okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. Nothing needs to be moved really. All we really need to do... I'll pull these. I'll just mark them. So this is the top HDD is the J drive. I'll just write a note. Top J drive equals straight SATA. I'm writing this down because like some of these are crooked and some of these are straight, and I'm telling you, I had a really hard time doing this. Okay, so the J drive is a straight SATA, and the I drive is the curved SATA. Here's what I mean. Some SATA cables have a curve on one side, some have curve on both, some are straight. It just makes it easier to plug into different spots. And then the E drive equals 90-degree SATA. That way when I grab these, I know exactly where they go. Okay, what's this? And what's that? That's gonna stay there. Ooh, I think I'm ready to pull this motherboard. We're finally there. No cables in the way. All of this stuff is motherboard, so I can go ahead and put it in a position where we can lay the computer down and not crush anything. Or so I think. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. We're just gonna put them in here for now. And then I'm just gonna slide them on in here. Well, I guess we can put them in there too. There we go. So at least they're not getting crushed when I'm setting the computer down. Okay. Here we go. I'm just gonna set these off to the side. Hey, let go. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. We are in business, baby. Alrighty. Oh yeah, we are there. Here we go. I'm gonna move the notes out of the way. And we are going to set the computer down. Man, it's so much lighter now. Wow. Who would have thought? Hopefully nothing moved. Critical. I'm gonna do something with this so it doesn't move again. I'm just gonna wrap it in here. Okay. So now it is time to remove the old motherboard, get the new one in here, and start putting components in it. And then all we gotta do is plug stuff in. That's the easy part. This was the hardest part of all of it. Getting everything out in a manner in which you know how to replug everything back in and you don't break anything. So I'm gonna unplug this, and I can't remember, I had an issue. I can't remember if I pulled this fan first. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, inside here, let's look at the screen. Okay, so inside here is the motherboard, and it's bolted down in like 10 spots maybe. There's a bolt here. There's a bolt there. There's a bolt here. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. There might even be one under here. I'm gonna have to double check that. One there. Yeah, one in the corner, one there. So like 8 or so. But the thing is when you pull it out, this input-output shroud thing might have issues on this. It depends on how far the motherboard sits onto these. If it doesn't sit very far, I can slide it out. Let's try it out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that other M2 drive. I'm gonna have to pull it anyway. Okay. So let's pull the M2 drive. And while we're doing that, we are going to be electrostatically connected. Just put that guy there so if it doesn't move. Alrighty, let's pull this out. And I'm actually touching the case too. So we're like double electrically taken care of. There we go. Pop this guy out. Ta-da! Just gonna set this over here, maybe with my RAM or something. There we go, that's a good spot. Set that with that. Pull the riser off. See, I'm learning now. I remembered there was a riser. And these are 2280. That is the length in millimeters, I believe. From the port to the thing. Here we go. Nice. And it's really cool because modern motherboards have writing on them. So let's see if I can show you this. Right there, where that M2 was, there's writing right here, and it says M.2 PCIe X4 SATA blah 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 blah. It's really nice that there's writing because you can kind of confirm what you're plugging in and whatnot. So let's move the camera and undo the motherboard. All right, here we go. Putting this thing back on. I'll leave a link to this. I don't have any Amazon affiliate links, but I tried to do that when my channel was too young. And they don't like that because you don't bring Amazon enough traffic, so they kick you out of the program. Here we go. Let's undo that. Make it tighter. There we go. There we go. All right. So we are going to undo everything. Oh, this is such a good feeling. I'm gonna use the big screwdriver. Let's move that. That's in the way. Here we go. 1. Maybe I'm gonna use a small one. Shoot, I don't remember what those other ones are for. That's why we have video. All right, number 2. It's too hard with that little guy. I don't want to strip him either. I'll just undo him and pull him up with the other screwdriver. So that was 2. This is 3. I was wrong, there isn't a bolt here. There's just a little prong there. So that was 3. This is 4. Well, I guess jamming my screwdriver into the motherboard. Make sure we're all zoomed out. I need to scoot up a little. Or down, I guess. Wow. It's hard to tell. Everything's upside down. Oh man, it is 8 o'clock. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, that one's coming out. 7. Okay. 8. I think this is the last one. It's acting like it is. The whole motherboard kind of lifted up. Okay. Let's see. Let's grab the little screwdriver because it's really magnetic. There we go. There we go. Yet again. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 removed. 6 removed. 7 removed. And the last one was there, yeah. I think we're good. Let's see if I can move the motherboard at all. Looks like it's moving. Yep. I'm gonna try to grab this so I don't ding it up. Is it moving? Oh, the shroud. Let's put it back in. I think the shroud's holding it in place. I'll show you what I'm talking about. The input-output shroud, this little piece of metal here. Let's see if I can pop that out. Oh wow, those snap in really good. I don't know if I'm gonna be able. Let's see how this goes. I might need pliers for this. Let's find out. Let's try this one more time. Oh, it came out. It's coming out. There we go. Ta-da! I have removed a motherboard. Let me show you guys here. Let's undo this. Here we go. There we go. So now, oh, whoops, I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So now I have removed the old motherboard. I'm gonna just set it off to the side somewhere that's not gonna get any weird static. I'll just set it on top of a piece of paper. Seems good enough to me. That one's gonna get repaired anyway. I'm gonna send it off to Asus. I think they're gonna charge me about $100 or so. It's okay. It's nice to have a backup motherboard that you know works. So, what we are gonna do, oh wow, that's not tight. What is going on there? Wow, that's weird. I never noticed that before. Let me check that. I'm gonna show you something real quick. The standoff for the motherboard. Oh shoot. This standoff is like loose. So I'm gonna check the back and see what that looks like. Bear with me here. Okay, I should be able to tighten that. I think hand tight is enough. I don't know, do I have any pliers? Here. I'll use this part of the scissors right there. It fits, it won't fit. It's okay, I think it's tight enough now. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blow everything off just to get it clean, and we're gonna get everything plugged into the power supply that I need, and then we're gonna plug the new motherboard in, whatever order, either one of those is fine. So here's that shroud I was talking about. We're just gonna leave it in there. Yeah. Let's blow it off. I was gonna replace this case fan. I'm gonna see how big my fan is compared to that one. Let's see. Direction of rotation. That's a lot bigger, isn't it? It'll fit. Yeah, let's replace that. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna insert a clip here of this case fan. It's really loud sometimes on startup, so I'm gonna replace it with a nice fan. It actually should fit. Let's pull that out right now. This is the noise that fan makes. It's part of the reason why I'm rebuilding the computer. And it looks like it should be pushing up. Yes. See if you can see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm undoing a fan that's facing downward, so I need to make sure to grab it before I undo the last one. Let me see if this will even fit on the new fan. Let's see, which way does this go? Where's it at? There it is. We want this fan to blow up. Yes, we want it to blow like that. That looks like it's gonna fit. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna fit. Oh yeah. Okay, we'll set that there. And we're gonna replace both of those fans if we can. We're not gonna do the other one just yet. Oh, I was gonna check this. Yeah, I guess these are standard. Okay, two more. There we go. Gotta be careful on this last one. I'm gonna look at the cabling right now just for a second here. Where does this go? It goes to one of those fan headers. Oh, I see, they're both connected. Okay, that makes sense. Both of the case fans are connected to the same periphery thingamajigger, so we're gonna do that again. Go ahead and unplug it. Feed the cable through. And undo it without dropping it. I guess I could set it down. Ta-da! Case fan. Look how dirty it is. Gross. I don't know if you can see. Can you? It's really hard to tell what it's focused on right now. Oh well. Okay, let's go ahead and swap out the new fan. Wow, it's dirty. Really dirty. Gross. Okay, let's put this bad boy in here. Same thing, this one's really dirty too. I think I have 2 air compressor. Alrighty. Okay, so real quick, most fans, most case fans and whatnot have a labeling on them. Man, I can't tell if that's, is that focus? Why is it? It did it again. It switched to manual focus. This camera's driving me nuts.
One eternity later.
Okay, there we go. I don't know why it does that. It just switches. Let's see if you can see this. So right here, let's see, can we see that? I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. Comment down below if you can. There's a fan marking. I want it to blow up. I'm just gonna get this loosely in there until I get them all in, and then I can kind of position it. That's good enough. Enough to hold it. That's all you care about. Oh, you know what? I didn't think about this. I want the cable to be in the back. See how the cable sticks out from one side? I want that over here. That way it is nice and out of the way. I think I had it. Yeah, I think it was like that last time. Just trying to make it easy to plug in everything. I'm gonna leave it a little loose for now, and then we're gonna tighten it. Oh wow, is that even long enough? Oh, I need to turn it. Dang it. I need to turn it, I think. I'd rather turn it now than have any issues later. That's quite a bit longer. We'll go with that. Ta-da! I think that's gonna work. You always want things to be lined up in the easiest spot as possible, because it's not fun taking things apart once you already have everything connected. Okay, still a little loose. I'm trying to center it, which there's not much movement, but not much I can do. That's where it's going. Go ahead and plug the peripheral connector in. And then I'm gonna, I don't know if that's gonna fit. How much bigger is my new fan? Yeah, I don't think this one's gonna fit. So we're leaving this guy out. This was my old case fan. Watch my water cooler video, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Now that we have everything like that, let's get a motherboard in here and start plugging stuff in. Oh, we don't want that in there. Get out of the way. hard not to let anything that's connected to the case be in the way. We'll do this for now. Sure, we'll try that. Let's try that. Feels okay. All right, new motherboard time. Okay, I'm gonna get strapped up wherever it's at. I don't know where it's at. Here we go. Get strapped up. Okay, we already switched out that. We have a CPU in plugged in. Okay, I think we're all good. Dang it. Here we go. Just nice and easy. Kind of hard with the shroud in there. Let's see if I can just force it where I want it to be. Oh, it's almost there. Is that in? I guess that is in. Wow, that worked. What do you know? Did it? Let's find out. All right, let's start screwing things in. Just getting them in there for now. Oops, hope I didn't mess anything up. Alrighty, the memory card filled up. Here we go. So now I have a couple more to plug in. Alright, so now I'm actually going to snug them up. Okay, snug, 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 yeah, snug, 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 snug. Okay, they're all snugged up. So now we just need to plug everything in. Here we go. Let's start with the power supply, and then we'll get the PC, the Then we'll put this guy on there. All right, I'm gonna unbox the power supply. I think the box is outsmart. Oh, nice. They gave me zip ties. That is so good. Heck yeah. Smells like cancer. There's important information in there. Just in case I didn't show this a second ago, this is the Corsair RM850 Gold, fully modular. So, let's pull the cords out. No fancy case in this one. Let's start plugging stuff into it. Let's flip the motherboard up, or the computer up. Here we go. I'm taking a seat for this one. We need at least 2 SATA power cables. Point being, reason being, we have 2 hard drives, 2 solid states that run off of SATA. Both the hard drives can use 1 power cable that has 3 splitters, and both of the SSDs can use 1 power cable that has splitters. I have extensions, and I even have another extension that I didn't use last time. So, we'll start plugging stuff into the power supply. Whoosh. Here we go. We are going to, let's start with, let's just start from here and work our way that way. Which one's 6 plus 2 PCIe, 4 plus 4 CPU? What is that one? 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So, let's start with the 24 pin. This is the power for the motherboard. This powers everything other than the CPU and whatever else. So, here we go. CPU. Oh, that is not going in. Oh. Haha. There's 2 different tabs here. Now, I was told by one of the guys at Micro Center to use 2 of these for the GPU. I'm gonna do that. Even though there's enough on one of them to split, I'm pretty sure it doesn't deliver the proper amount of power, so I'm not gonna argue with that. It's like one. So we have our motherboard, we have our CPU, we have our 2 PCIes for our graphics card. Those are just gonna get zip tied like that, because we're only gonna use one end on each cable. There's a 3rd PCIe, we're not gonna use that. Okay, we're gonna need 1 peripheral for all the stuff plugged into the motherboard and whatnot. That'll be these guys here. And then we're gonna need at least 2 of these. I'm just gonna plug in 2 for now. Worst case scenario, I have to pull it out, which isn't fun. Alrighty, this should be SATA. I actually like these way better than the other ones. Alright, so if I did this right, we're gonna have one PCIe Express, one SATA left over, and one CPU. That's actually very generous of them. And then we're gonna do SATA. Oh yeah, this makes it easier to plug stuff in later. Or no, let's think of that. Let's put everything as far right, left, right as possible now. The reason being, if I have to plug anything in, it's way harder to get further in there. And that one has to go there because it's the CPU. Okay. So we're gonna fold everything over. We're gonna triple check that everything's plugged in, and we're gonna move everything out of the way. Actually, let's see what we can do with this now. We're gonna do that. We're gonna see what we can do with that. Because we might be able to save ourselves a step here. This is peripheral, so these guys are gonna wanna be way off here to the side, and I'm totally okay with kind of however these end up. Yeah, and then the peripherals are off to one side. Those are zip tied. And then the USB can also get plugged in. That's such a tight fit. It's like ridiculous, actually. Okay, so we have our USB headers plugged in from the case. And now we have this HDMI. I don't know why this is even here. That is going as far away from this off to the side as possible. And then these are, I believe this is, what is this, USB 2.0? Yes. USB. There's multiples, okay. I'm gonna reference my pictures I took earlier. I don't know if I did take pictures of, yeah, I took pictures of the motherboard at least. What do you know? That green guy and red guy. HD audio, let's find out where that goes to. I think, I'm not sure. What is that? What's this one? Next to the big plug on the left. I think HD audio went way off to this side. Yeah, next to all the audio equipment. That makes sense. Was the words up or down? Let's see. White was on that side. We'll try it. Looks like it's upside down on here. That's gotta be it. So now we have this guy, I think. This is the RGB header, and this guy can really go anywhere basically, but it needs to go right there, so we'll route it behind everything. I'd say we're in business there. I really don't like the way this plugs in. Trying to get this in. Trying to get this in with this cable. I don't like the way that cable was bent before. So I'm trying to... They didn't really think about this. Should I be over here? Maybe the drive should be over there. Should I just put it how it was? Whatever, we'll try that out. Okay, so now I need... So that was there, and I had two things plugged in next to it. Which is probably USB 2.0 and HD audio. Okay, I think I figured it out. It's the water cooler. I was wondering what the thing was that was missing. Okay. So this should go here. I think it's in. Okay. Okay. So now I think we have everything in except for the power cables. And those shouldn't be too bad as long as I have a good picture. Okay. Gosh dang it, it did it again. This turns into a mess quick. It's not connected. Oh, that's not good. What the hell? How am I supposed to control that? What a garbage connector. Might have to get another one of these. This pin is like bent. That was not fun. Please come out. Please come out. Oh gosh. That wasn't fun. Gosh, I should have done that first. Okay. The H drive port 3 is the top middle. This is the big connector. I'm going to show you where all these go. Okay, so we need to plug in the 24 pin, the CPU pins right here. I need to plug in the water cooler, one of the fans, I think one of the other fans, yeah, and then all the SATA devices. So we're getting there. I think we're plugged in. New power cables are not fun at all. Oh man, that barely makes it. I just plugged in the CPU there. Right there. It feels plugged in. This is for the graphics card. I'm just gonna set these bad boys right here. Just right there. Alright, it's finally time to put in the graphics card. Let's see if it works with just the 2 slots. I might have to pull one of these out. Maybe I'll do that first. this fits. Please be long enough. Got the graphics card plugged in. That is getting zip tied underneath there. Okay. Now we just need the cooler. That's it.
Along?
Yeah, almost there. This is a headache and a half, I'll tell you that.
Hey, almost done though.
I shouldn't have to do it again, obviously. I'm going to wipe the CPU die again, just because. There we go. Just a quick wipe again. That way we're clean and dry. Clean and dry. Alright, I'm gonna blow that off. That's sketchy. There we go. Alright. Now we're gonna get some thermal compound. That it? Alrighty, let's see what we can get. My battery died. I ran out of memory on one card and battery died, so that means it's time to hurry up. Okay. So we're gonna put some thermal compound on wherever I put it. Okay, so I have to kind of set the radiator down here, and then the block is gonna go on top of here. And I'm going to wiggle it around to spread the thermal paste. And let's take a look at it actually. It's not quite spread all the way, so I'm going to put a little bit more. And I'm actually going to manually spread it. With the little spatula that they gave me. Just a really thin layer, that's all you're going for. All that thermal paste does is help transfer the heat from the two metal compounds. That's it. A nice even layer means that all the CPU cores get heat distributed evenly. It's been said that if you have one core hotter than the other, it's probably because of thermal paste. Or it's just the worst core, you know. Let's go there. Let's do that. Okay, let's try this again. I wish you could unplug these things. Okay, coming in nice and easy. Here we go. So, go ahead and plug this in to the power supply. And it's switched off. I think that's kind of important. We're just going to keep it off for now. Here we go. Moment of truth. We're going to plug her in. It's turned off. Okay. No explosions. Here we go. This is very exciting. So this is the moment that everybody dreads and is really excited about. I'm going to turn it on and we're going to see what it does. Let's hope for the best. So, power supply switching on now. I don't see any lights. That's not normal. Okay, something's not plugged in. Oh, I know what's up. Power supply's off. False alarm. Not gonna lie, that kind of got me worried. Okay, we're gonna turn the power supply on. We should see at least one light come on in here. Come down. Okay, we should at least see a few lights come on in here. I'm not turning the computer on, I'm just turning the power supply on. Boom. We have motherboard power. You see that? That's one of the power supplies. It's just a power indicator for the motherboard. That's a good sign. So, I'm gonna plug everything into the TV. Let's do that. Moment of truth. First power up. Oh gosh. Let's do this. I'm hitting F2 just to make sure it goes into BIOS. Okay, that was kind of creepy. Boom. Check that out. Here we go. Oh, it's such a beautiful noise and it's nice to see everything on. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this screen is here. This is the BIOS screen. Well, it's pre-BIOS. Okay. I see one of my sticks of RAM. The memory profile is not set. That's not how fast this RAM goes. I do see my motherboard, I see my motherboard. That's an old BIOS. I need to update that. I need to update that. I see one USB drive. Yep, SanDisk. I see that, 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 and that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit, please enter setup to recover BIOS setting. Press F1 to run setup. Let's do that. All right, here we go. So I'll move the thing over. So what I want to do is I want to load, we want to update the BIOS. Let's try to find that. Be used to update BIOS. Please enter the BIOS update method. So, what we're gonna do, sorry, I'm gonna move this. So right, I'm sitting next to the camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and select this via storage devices. Next, FS0, Strix, there we go. And I talked about this at the very beginning of the video. This is the version of the BIOS that I want to update to. Do you want to read this file? Let's double check. Yes. Do you really want to update BIOS? Yes. You do not touch anything. You just let it do its thing. Going back into BIOS again. So now we have the proper version of the BIOS. That's good. Now we just have to set the memory clock and the CPU clock. All right. I didn't mean to do that. Sweet. What do you know? My entire desktop is still there. Perfect. Let's see if we can see the graphics card. Task Manager, Performance. We can see all of our drives. J drive, still CD. I don't like the order these are showing in. Ooh, look at that. Yep, it's showing our GPU. This is good. Okay, so I'm gonna shut the computer down. And then I'm gonna set the memory profile. Oh, I almost skipped that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go advanced mode down here. gonna scoot the camera over just a little. We're gonna go to advanced mode. We're gonna go to tool. We're gonna go to Asus overclocking profile. We're gonna load from USB. We're gonna load this guy. Yes. BIOS successfully loaded. Yes. So now we're gonna go back. Selector load. Yeah, should be good. Exit. Yes. So yeah, I should have this saved to profile 1. Yes. Save settings, yes. So what I did was I just loaded it. So let's check. Yep, there we go. We have the RAM speed set. We have our clock rate set. Our cooling set. So let's go ahead and shut her down again. F10, saves and resets. Push OK. Oh, didn't like that. Not sure what it's doing right now. Ugh, come on. I have no clue what's going on. The resolution's not right. Hey, we can see both of the RAM sticks. Let's try to boot into Windows. $960. Let's see if we can boot. the other monitor. My roommate's asleep, so I'm trying to be quiet. Okay. I'm gonna pull this out of the box and put it over there. And then I need to add the other SSD, M.2. You guys are being too loud. Oh wow. Power. Asus Tuf 1440 monitor. You like my shirt? Kudos if you know where that's from. Display port. And HDMI. Oh, USB, yeah. So you can plug a USB stick into the monitor. I think this is the legs. No ghosts allowed, and no little kids. Boomerang. There's these little things that slide into these slots. Yeah, there's these things that slide into these slots, and then you just tighten these up. Pretty cool. I'm gonna try to add the other 2 sticks of RAM. I wasn't able to use it on the other motherboard, so let's try it out. It's just been sitting here for like 6 months. Nice. Let's turn it on. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I'm going to turn the surge protector on, and then I'm going to turn the power supply on. I knew this would happen, so those 2 new RAM sticks, the speed isn't set yet. Or at least it doesn't know it's a speed to use it. I don't know if it can use them at the same speed. We'll see, I'm gonna pull them out. Okay, so here's a recap at the end of that video. So it turns out one of those RAM sticks doesn't work. I thought it was an issue with the motherboard. I thought one of the DIMM slots didn't work. And it turns out just one of the sticks didn't work. And I remember I had issues and I was trying to boot it up with just one stick individually. So one of them works and one of them doesn't. I was actually able to contact Corsair and they agreed to RMA. So I'm just sending those 2 sticks back and hopefully they'll send me refurbished ones. I don't care if they're brand new or not. I just want my RAM to work. I know how to check RAM. I'll make a video about that. And I'll also make a video about the Corsair RMA process as well as the Asus RMA process, because I'm going to send back the motherboard that I took out of that computer. So just to recap, I made sure I had all the settings I needed right off the beginning, and yeah, I made sure I had the firmware and my BIOS settings, and it turns out both of those worked. I was able to load both of those, which saved tons and tons of troubleshooting. Although I did spend pretty much all week stress testing the machine and trying to get my stable overclock at 5 gigahertz. Turns out my 4.8 wasn't as stable as I thought it was, and I couldn't blame as many of the issues on the old motherboard. So I had to learn how to overclock a lot better, and I learned a ton this week. Not gonna lie, it was very frustrating. So, thanks for watching. I know this is a really long video. I don't expect anybody to watch the entire video. It's actually kind of a test for my computer. But I did want to upload this video just in case somebody who's never built a computer sees this. This video will basically show you everything you need to know to build a computer. You just reverse the order in which I took the computer apart. So yeah, basically the first few things that anybody usually does when they build a computer is they will either get cords into the power supply or plug the RAM, CPU, and your main boot drive into the motherboard, mount the motherboard into the case, put the power supply into the case, and then begin to connect power to your drives and whatnot. And it's a really important thing to have all of the cables that you think you're going to need plugged into the power supply. If you've never built a computer or never taken apart a computer, you have no clue how frustrating it is. It's really hard to get into where the cords are plugged into the power supply. You pretty much have to pull the power supply out a little bit or unplug everything. It's almost impossible to get your hands in there. That is why it's better to have one extra thing plugged in there, like a SATA power or a peripheral power. It's better to have one extra of each than it is to not have enough, because it's really frustrating to plug in. So thanks for watching this video. I highly doubt anybody actually did watch it, and maybe nobody gets to the end of this, but hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to edit. It helped me prove that my new computer setup is pretty solid. I'm really close to dialing in the 5 gigahertz overclock. I'll make a video about that too. The 1440p monitor is amazing. It's so cool to look at photos at a higher resolution as well as videos. Not to mention how insane Cyberpunk looks in 1440 with ray tracing and DLSS. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about building computers, I am so enthusiastically happy to help you. Just leave a comment down below and I'll see it. Trust me, I try to read every single comment, although pretty soon I won't be able to keep up if my channel keeps growing at the rate that it is. So yeah, I'm just dialing in the last few things on this computer. If you have any doubts about building a computer yourself, you can do it. It's really not that hard. Go to pcpartpicker.com. I'll leave that linked in the description. I'll leave my build in the description. It's not fully updated, but you'll get the point. And yeah, you're gonna have a few little issues, but as long as you have resources and you have a phone that has the internet, you can probably figure it out. Thanks again for watching. Peace out. We'll see you guys on the next one.